Hi, it's Matt from The Last Drop of Ink, and in this quick video I'll be explaining why eSellerPro is still the best of a bad bunch. Now, the reason why I put this video together today is because I'm answering the same question a couple of times a week. So instead of repeating myself over and over, I thought it would be far more productive to whip together a quick video and just explain it just at once. So it was 3 years ago that I left eSellerPro, and it's still the best of a bad bunch. Now, the term bad bunch isn't my term, it's actually your term, and it's the term being used by business owners like you to describe the software providers out there for multi-channel e-commerce out there today. So this basically boils down to three key areas. First of all is inventory management, the second one is importing and exporting, and the third is stock control. And I'll actually show you exactly why eSellerPro still rocks in these three departments and why the other providers may not be a good choice for you right now. So let's dive into inventory management, and this just boils down to basic stock control and management in there. So with eSellerPro we created some very special inventory types, and they are called master SKUs, sub SKUs, listing SKUs, variations, oh, and I've missed out from the presentation another type called kits. Okay, so let's have a look and see what the fuss is about. Okay, so I've created a little table on my screen, and you can see that we've got a master SKU and some stock sub SKUs. Now, the best way of explaining this is think about a pair of shoes. Okay, most footwear are sold in sizes 3 to 8. So our master SKU is the actual SKU which gets listed onto eBay or Amazon or onto your website. That's what the customer actually sees on the marketplaces themselves. Then below there we've got stock sub SKUs, and these stock sub SKUs are the SKUs which hold stock. And if we move on one more screen, let's have a look at this in a little bit more detail. So we can see that we've got a master SKU called Shoe ABC, and that's the container product, and that's the product which you actually list onto the marketplaces. And then below there we've got Shoe ABC3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8, and we've got a size field. Now that size field is the value which we see on eBay in the drop down box, or the size field which you see on your website, or the size field which you see on Amazon, and so on and so forth. Now we can see there's an extra column here called stock level, and this is where it gets curious, is that with the master product that doesn't actually contain any stock itself. However, each one of the stock sub SKUs have their own stock levels. So picking on the example on the screen, so for size UK3 we have 10 of those in stock, whereas UK4 we have 22, and so on and so forth. Okay, now let's take this a stage further. Okay, so let's just cut this down and we'll just look at sizes 3 and 4. Okay, so we still have our master SKU, which is the product which has the description, it has the item specifics, the images, and you only ever put that in on the master SKU. Whereas the stock sub SKUs, they're just stock keeping units, and yeah, you can have different descriptions if you want to list them separately, and we'll get onto those in a moment. Okay, so coming back to what we've got on our screen, we can see that we've got a master SKU and we've got two stock sub SKUs, sizes 3 and 4, and they have two different stock levels. Now there's a new SKU type on our screen now called a listing SKU, and we use listing SKUs for when we want to sell exactly the same product but in a different flavor, and that flavor could be a second eBay account. Okay, so let's have a quick recap of what we got on our screen. Master SKU, container product. We've got stock sub SKU for UK size 3, and we've got 10 of those in stock. And then on the third row down we've got a listing SKU, and you'll see that it's got a different stock number and the stock level is in grey. And that's crucial because that means that our listing SKU, so our SKU for the second eBay account, inherits the stock level from its parent, which is the sub SKU. So now I think one and one's coming together here, and you're ending up with two, which basically means is that you can create one inventory system which you can then use for multiple eBay accounts, multiple sales channels at the same time, and your stock levels will come back true. And again, this is linked into number 3, which we'll be looking at in a few moments. And again, so if we pick on size 4, we can see that we've got 22 of those in stock, and I made a mistake on the screen, which I'll just quickly change. There's that should have 22 in stock, because that's inheriting it from its stock sub-SKU above. Okay, we take this a stage further. If we want to do a multi-variation listing on eBay or Amazon underneath one eBay account, and then also on another eBay account, we have our master SKU, which is the one which we list on our first or our primary eBay account, and then that picks its stock levels up from the stock sub-SKU, and for size 3 and size 4. And then what we can then do is create another SKU type called variation SKU, and in this case I've called it shoe ABC #ID2, and that's for our second eBay account. And what we then do is that we link our listing SKUs to our variation SKU, and of course they then inherit their stock levels. And again, I'll just quickly correct that stock level, so we can list it on that on the main eBay ID and our second eBay ID, and of course that could be another eBay account, or it could be another website, depending on how you've been and set that up. Okay, so let's take this a stage further with kit products. Now, let's say that we've got 2 different products. We've got a keyboard and we've got a mouse, and they come and they have 2 different stock levels. We have 20 keyboards and we have 11 mice. Okay, we create a new product, okay, called keyboard_mouse. Okay, and we assign 1 mouse and 1 keyboard to it, and if you look at the stock level is 11, because that is the maximum number of kits which we can make. Now, for those people which have followed me on the Last Drop of Ink site, if you go back and go to the site and look at podcasts, and on the top we did a massive podcast on this, because kits or unique products in e-commerce, especially in today's environment, are like gold dust, and you can very, very easily make kit products using eSellerPro, and it's very difficult or if not impossible in the other software providers which are out there. Okay, so let's take this a stage further. Okay, we have a product along the top for which is called batteries. Okay, and we have 21 batteries in stock. We can then make multiple kits. So if you want to make a 4-pack of batteries, so you can see the quantity required on the right hand side is 4, so we can make 5 packs of 4. So that would be another eBay listing, another Amazon listing, and so on and so forth. Okay, then we've got a kit product which is batteries 8. Funny enough, we have a quantity required of 8, and we can only make 2 of those in there. So 8 plus 8 is 16. We got some remainders. We can't make another full product, so we only have 2 in stock. And then, hell, why not make a 12-pack as well? And we can only make 1 12-pack, and you can do that very, very easily within eSellerPro. Now, let's go mental and go one stage further. What happens if we had batteries? So we got 21 of those in stock. We make 2 kit products, 4 and 8. Okay, so they've got their stock availabilities of 4 and 8 for the different packs. Then we create a new master SKU called batteries variation, and then below there we make 2 stock sub-SKUs, but those stock sub-SKUs are also kits, and they inherit their stock levels from their kit products above, and then that's how you can make multi-variation listings on eBay, Amazon, your website, etc., etc. And you can, and those sub-SKUs, those parts, can be actually made up of kit products. And again, our stock levels come back true, and again, we'll be looking at that in stage 3. So that is pretty nuts. Now let's move on to the next reason why eSellerPro is the best of a bad bunch: importing. Basically, eSellerPro has the most flexible import and export system. Okay, if we look at some of what the other software providers have got out there, eSellerPro still rocks. If we look at Limwitz, for example, what you would do in a single import in eSellerPro takes 3 separate imports inside Limworks. And then if you combine that with a disjointed interface, so what I mean by that is a piece of software, desktop software, and then a web piece of software for listing onto eBay, that does make managing a lot of inventory cumbersome. If we now look at Channel Advisor, now Channel Advisor has the second best importing system out there, and in a few places it's far superior. What I mean by that is that with Channel Advisor you can run Excel based logic when you're importing data, so you don't have to necessarily use Excel. You can have the Excel formulas on the import mechanism when it goes into hit Channel Advisor and your product inventory, but it still falls flat because the poor inventory management system, like for everything which I just covered in part 1. Okay, if we look at another provider, say Channel Grabber, they still don't seem to be able to handle single imports. Instead, if you have separate records for the same product, so let's just say you have one product listed on 10 different sales channels, you end up with approximately 11 records, and over 1,000 products, you can kind of see the problem. Now, there are other software tools like Store Feeder, Seller Express, 24 Top Seller, and so on and so forth. I'm unable to comment on them, but they also fall flat because they don't have the inventory system which we covered in stage 1. Okay, now let's go and move on to stock control, and this is the last reason why eSellerPro still is the best of a bad bunch. Okay, and the best way to do this is explain this by example. So there's a pair of Oakley sunglasses, and we have 10 of those in stock. Now, in the left hand column we have our quantity available, and we've got 10 of these sunglasses in stock, and we're selling them on eBay ID 1, eBay ID 2, we're selling them on Amazon, and we're also selling them on our website, and we've got those listed via the system called a channel profile in eSellerPro. So that means that we can set, with your own rules, in there you can set it to list 100% of available onto all your sales channels at the same time. So what happens when we go and sell an item? So let's say we go and sell one of those pair of sunglasses on our website. We've only got 9 in stock. Now that means that Amazon, eBay ID 1, eBay ID 2 are out of sync, and we've got 10 in stock on those. The channel profile will kick in and then change those down to 9, and then our stock levels come back true. So now let's say that we now go and sell an item on Amazon. Amazon's now gone down to 8, our other sales channels are out of stock, and the channel profile kicks that into 8. Okay, now let's say we have now a delivery, we've been and received 10 more of these sunglasses. Now all of our sales channels are out of stock, out of date with our stock levels. They're also in 8 and they should be 18. The channel profile kicks in and changes all the stocks levels up into 18, which is our correct level. Now it doesn't just stop there with the channel profile. You can use the channel profile there to set up minimum quantities. You can also work out your Amazon maximum and your minimum prices on there, and it can do lots of other cool things as well. Okay, so why is eSellerPro still the best of a bunch? Their inventory system is designed for large multi-channel marketplace businesses. The import system is one of the best and the most flexible systems out there. And finally, the channel profile, you basically have ultimate control over where and how your products are listed. So that's me, Matt from The Last Drop of Ink. You can find out more of me at lastdropofink.co.uk. Now, if you are one of the third parties which I just covered in this video and you don't like my summaries or explanations, just make your software better than this. So anyway, that's Matt from The Last Drop of Ink. Thank you ever so much for watching this video. Cheerio.